Coach Marty Spencer. He began coaching at Essexville Garber in 1982, went to Akron Fairgrove for a year, and then in 1987 started coaching at St. Ignace LaSalle. Has won 12 conference championships with a consecutive conference win streak of 37 games, and never lost in the Ski Valley Conference from 2012 to 2016, 24-0. Has had 4 undefeated regular seasons, has qualified 15 years for the state playoffs with 6 district championships and 6 regional championships. St. Ignace LaSalle was the UP Team of the Year in 2011. He was the Detroit Lions Coach of the Week in 2012. He was an Upper Peninsula All-Star Game assistant coach for 2 years and the Upper Peninsula All-Star Game head coach for 2 years, 2014 and 2017. In 2010, was selected as the Upper Peninsula Coach of the Year. He is a 4-time MHSFCA Regional Coach of the Year. Coach Spencer retired in 2016. His most humorous incident in coaching. Walking into the locker room before playing our arch rival Sheboygan, 3 of my players were burning sweet grass and sage as part of their Native American heritage. Not knowing, I freaked out and then told them to get it out of the locker room. They took it to the 50-yard line. Later, they told me it was to clear away any demons. It must have worked. We won really, really big. His biggest thrill in coaching, being able to coach against my mentor, Barry Pearson. He went to Sault Ste. Marie after leaving St. Ignace, and we were able to beat his team and qualify for the playoffs for the first time in my career. Coach Spencer's comment on Waco. Coaching enabled me to connect with student athletes in a different educational classroom. The football field was an extension of my first profession, teaching. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Coach Marty Spencer.
And I didn't add to that funny story what that sage and sweetgrass smelled like. My 2 assistant coaches who smelled it first left the locker room because they said, we're not going to go tell them. It smelled like pot. And I freaked out, but then I found out later what it was all about. I know, I'm a phys ed teacher, and I know if you've been sitting for a long time, that your butt is as sore as mine, so everybody stand up just for like 10 seconds. Shake out a little bit. Because I could hardly even walk up here after sitting for that long. So, all right, shake it out and then sit back down, and we'll continue. All right, oh, you can leave. That's all right. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the inductees. This is quite an honor for me, being from St. Ignace and the first city in the UP, but to be inducted with such great coaches from all over the state is just an honor that I truly can't believe. Jet Nelson and Larry Mertz, I want to thank both those men and their committee for their commitment and dedication to the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Without them, none of this would be possible. As a troll from the Lower Peninsula, coaching in St. Ignace has been an honor. It was an experience I will never forget. Being selected to the Hall of Fame is a culmination of many years of sacrifice and hard work. I was very fortunate to have worked with some outstanding educators and coaches, and I'll always be grateful for the opportunity to have represented St. Ignace and LaSalle High School. Throughout 35 years of coaching and teaching, there were so many people to thank, beginning with Hall of Fame member Ed Harvey of Essexville Garber, who actually was my first high school coach, or my only high school coach. But he also gave me the opportunity to coach football for my first time at Essexville Garber. I'd like to thank the community of St. Ignace and my mentor Barry Pearson for allowing me to grow as a young and sometimes quite wild coach. I received a few penalties over the years, and so I had to calm down a little bit. Les Terrian, my longtime assistant, coach, and friend, who dedicated more than 40 years to the St. Ignace football program. I can't thank him enough. I'm going to have everybody stand at the end, Les, so you don't have to be embarrassed. My many assistant coaches, who actually were some of my former players, and they were all players from St. Ignace, including Chris Marshall, Matt Oya, Chuck McCall, Mike Shepard, Rich Frazier, who helped me to understand the tradition and the importance of St. Ignace football. Having the support of these young men was invaluable to our program, because I was a troll, and I wasn't a Youper. The hundreds of St. Ignace football players that I had the privilege to coach, who bought into my philosophy of hard work with no excuses. Some of the players are here with me tonight, Curtis and Austin St. Louis and Brad Terrian. I can't thank them enough for showing up. I need to thank my parents, Angie and Bud Spencer, who allowed me the freedom to pursue my career. And this guy is my best friend. He got inducted into the Softball Hall of Fame and didn't mention me. Well, he and I started basically all state softball together when we were about 20 years old. And I bugged him, so I'm gonna recognize him. Brad Walraven, Hall of Fame softball coach, and my best friend, who understands the tremendous commitment in the coaching profession. Thanks to my brothers, Dave and Kevin, my brothers-in-law, Grubbs and Jeff, sisters, Donna and Kathy, and sisters-in-law, Pam and Cammie, who supported our program from afar. Thank you to my daughter, Katie Lisco, and her husband, Jason, and my son, Kyle Spencer, who had to put up with a missing father as I pursued my love of athletics and education. Finally, I'd like to thank my wife, Angie, who became a Friday night widow for over 35 years. But she committed herself to our program like all the wives do of head coaches, with many of her behind-the-scene activities that helped lay the foundation for our success. If I could have all the St. Ignace family and my family stand and be recognized, I would like that very much. I've been involved in football for more than half of my life. I understand why 35 years of coaching and a win-loss record were important in this selection tonight. But coaching to me was also about little things that happened over those years, and I'd just like to share a few of those little things with you. Receiving a call on Father's Day from a former player, Randy Stemke, just letting me, hoping that I had a great day on Father's Day. Being a Lower Peninsula troll who constantly strived to become a Youper. And even after 30 years, I'm not sure I'm there yet, but I'm trying really hard. Moving my freshman quarterback to the varsity after losing my starter to a broken back, and that freshman happened to be my son Kyle. Taking our teams to Northern Michigan University for the first week of practice for the past 25 years, and which enabled us to create a tradition that the kids look forward to each and every year. Helping a football player purchase a tuxedo so he could go to a senior prom. Mentoring students during the summer who needed a high school credit to be eligible to play a fall sport, especially football. Being involved in the healing process with our team and our community after losing a player, Mitchell Snyder, to a terrible tragedy immediately following a homecoming win. These are just a few of the many experiences that this football coach has had outside of the game. It has truly been an honor to represent St. Ignace LaSalle High School for the past 30 years and to become a member of such a prestigious organization. I am humbled by this honor, and I thank you very much.